Well, the road to Bathurst continues, plenty going on, and things have changed a little bit. The dates have shifted in bits and pieces, but we're still in full preparation mode for the great race. One thing that's continuously surprises me is still the amount of conversation that people want to talk about around 2003 and the shootout lap at Bathurst, which it wasn't me that named it, the Lap of the Gods, but that's how it is referenced. And it's very humbling that it is still a conversation piece that people still haven't got enough of. So it's quite an amazing thing. And I thought, well, we talk about it probably just about the moment for me and my perspective way too much. And I thought this way around on the, in the run up to Bathurst this year, why not switch it around a little bit and bring someone else into the conversation who was there and had such an integral, important part to play on that weekend, and actually in a very broad part of my career at Kmart Racing. So who better than to bring in to have a chat about 2003 and the shootout lap and the race win that year is the one and only Eric Pender, the engineer extraordinaire. Eric, mate,
Yeah.
How are you, buddy?
Good, mate. Great to see you. It's been a little bit with all the lockdowns, but yeah,
Crazy.
Always great chatting with you, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, you too, mate. And it has been too long. And I thought, well, this is actually probably something that we have actually not really sat down and reflect on and talk probably about in the way I want to talk about it today. We've probably never done that. We celebrated the success way back when, and we've obviously stayed mates and kept in touch, not as much as we should have. But, reflecting back to that moment, and as I say, you were such a significant part of my success at Kmart Racing, and also, that moment that people like to talk about. But one of the highlights for me watching the video and watching the highlights and reflection is the reaction from the pit bunker at Bathurst, you standing up and grabbing your handset and engaging. Tell me about it.
We had that good feel, we knew the car was on, and I remember right just before you were heading out, Rob walked over and folded the mirror in, and then you got on the radio and said, put it back out, I need it back out, I need everything how I remember from the previous lap, in quali. And so then you went out and did the lap, and then Bowie did that really good time, and I thought, wow, that's going to be a tough one to beat. The lap started.
I didn't want to know what the time was either, did I?
No, I didn't. Yeah, we had discussed it. You'd said, no, I don't want to know anything. I'm just going to do my lap, You're in the zone the whole weekend, and, that was what made it easy. And then on that lap, remember Fredo was sitting next to me, and you came off turn 2, and the car had a little bobble. And I said to Fred, oh, geez, I think we might have lost a little bit of time there, considering how good Bowie had gone. And then the first split comes up, because we didn't have all the microsectors or anything back then. And the first split comes up, and it's like, oh, we're actually up. And that's what the bobble was. You were just carrying so much more speed through turn 2 that, the car just had that slightly different attitude. And then you carried it on all the way through, and we saw the second split, and we knew all you had to do was finish it, and then without any brake lockups. And then you crossed the line, and it was that. My reaction was actually it wasn't just a little bit quicker than Bow. It was into the 6s, It was just, I think that's what I was saying on the radio. Holy cow, I'm not sure if I said cow, but a 6, that's unreal. And then the whole place just erupted, the bunker erupted, and then the whole pit lane erupted, and the crowd, and then we all see, just you driving back down, and the adulation of everyone to what you'd done. It was awesome. Yeah. And then I found out you missed a gear.
Yeah, well, and that was the moment, I think, for all of us, right? It's not often that you get your peers that you work with and you go to war with basically every weekend, coming out and paying tribute to things like that. That was, for me, if that hadn't happened, we probably wouldn't be talking about it now, right?
For sure. Just the feeling we had as a team then, everything was ticking along really well, and then that happens, and it just gave us all that real lift, and we knew the big payday was the next day, but yeah, just that whole feel. We were all on cloud nine. It was just awesome, and and really it was just everyone worked so well together. You mentioned, often you get spoken about the lap, and then you've said, oh, I was a big part, but there was a whole really close knit group of young guys behind us all that we all had each other's back all the time.
Yeah,
that's especially from the year before. What happened the year before that really solidified us.
That you mentioned before about these days there's all this tech, and we everyone can track everybody. We know what the time's pretty much going to be. With datum lapse and all that kind of stuff, it's all there. And I never wanted to see plus or minuses ups or downs on the dash because it used to just drive me mad. But that part of it, the surprise is now gone, isn't it? Really, with in a lot of that kind of stuff, because you actually, everyone knows pretty much where, and they can look at different microsectors and work out,
exactly
what the time's going to be. There's no surprise, but that was just a surprise for all of us.
Yeah, I had no idea what the lap was going to be. Pretty sure we were going to get pole, but just to smash the previous time by that much, it was just a surreal thing. I'm getting goosebumps now. The hairs are standing up. Like that whole weekend was just so good. Yeah.
But I wasn't that good because I stuffed up.
Oh, yeah. But, it was the old H pattern and carrying a bit of speed. I always said to you, I think at the time, maybe that helped you a little bit because maybe you would have carried a bit too much speed into Forest Elbow if it hadn't have been for that, and it might have gone past, washed past the apex a bit. Who knows? Because your actual exit on, out of Forest Elbow was awesome. Like the car... Actually, I remember the start of the lap, I always stand out the front, and watch the car go past, and then I go in to watch on the TV and everything. And I watched you go past and turn into turn one, and you hear the braking and the downshift, and then the throttle. There was no drawing the throttle on; it was just on like a light switch. And I remember going in saying, "No, there's a good run up the hill. Like you really got on it quick." So I knew the car was good. Yeah.
What what about the lead into that weekend and the practice and bits and pieces? I mean, I've sort of got this memory in my head about it, and it was one of those things, almost too good to be true. I think there was worries that there was a bit of worry at some stage because we weren't really doing enough, it seemed, but the car was so fast.
Yes, yeah. We were sort of sitting back almost too easy. So that car we debuted it at Oran Park. So we got it, the hybrid car. So we went to the double wishbone just before then, and first race was Oran Park. And we fried the tyres up, if you remember. The car was quick. I think we had pole from memory, but, the degradation was quite high. So we were a bit worried. And then we tested it at Winton just before, and we found a few little things that for the menu, for the tuning menu, and a bit of it was rear damping. And so when we went to bat that first session of the first practice, I always knew whether we were going to have a good weekend when you're by your first radio contact always, eh? It'll be, you do a lap or whatever, and then I go, how's the car? And you'd either go, oh, nah, it's no good. And I knew then, well, we're in for a hard weekend. But normally you go, no, it's pretty good. And then we're good. And that time you got on, you go, oh, I'm a bit uncomfortable across the top. You came in and we did that change that we thought about, we tested at Winton, and you went back out and you did one lap and you didn't say much. And I looked at the splits and everything, and then the time, and shit, it's actually pretty good. And then I thought, I can't remember how many laps you did, 2 or 3. And I said, oh, it seems like the car's right. And you go, yeah, it's really good. I think we need to put Rick in straight away, and the car's really good, really comfortable, and we need Rick to get some miles. So, and from then on, it was hardly a change. I think all we did was a rear spring just for quality, just to give it some point, and then back to normal to look after the tyre for the race. Yeah. Like you said, it was almost.
Well, that's actually it's sort of what I remember actually. But I was trying to remember if I glazed it all over and forgotten about some of the detail. But that's sort of pretty much what it was. But it was also the thing about that weekend is you mentioned Rick. It was our first year together as teammate, and I had a lot of confidence in him, as did you, and it was just one of those incredible sort of combinations that had a real click to it. That was a lot of sort of unspokenness almost about it, wasn't there?
Yeah, and, Rick, and he still, obviously, I went on and engineered Rick to his championship and stuff. So we're super close, and he's got that good attitude. Of he wanted to learn from you, and he was just really happy to be in that situation. He didn't want to prove himself. Never had a chip on his shoulder. He just knew his place and knew his steps and wanted to learn. And you took him under your wing so well. It all, like you said, it all just clicked. No one had to explain their position or anything. And then he just sort of moulded in and did a great job. And then in the race, I think it's been written a few times, we're a bit worried, the pace wasn't quite there. Like you were strong in the first stint, and then Rick jumped in and was holding his own. But we thought, we just need him to be a bit further up, a bit quicker, so that when safety cars, pit stops happen, whatever, we can react better. And I remember talking to him, I said, oh, look, I can talk to him on the radio, but it might be easier coming from you, like just to let him speed up a bit, see how we can coach him up a bit. So you put the cans on, said, oh, listen, how's it going? He says, yeah, really good. And you said, oh, I think, we need you to go just see if you can find a couple of tents or something. And he goes, oh, thank God for that. I was, struggling to drive slow because he thought he had to look after the car. And I think we were 7, 8 tenths in the next lap quicker, bang, and then consistently bang, 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 bang. And that was it.
Yeah, it did. And it's also because, when things go again, we had that amazing up till Saturday afternoon, and, it's just you're bouncing around off the walls at that point, and it's, hard to concentrate really. But, 1,000 Ks the next day, again, it's one of those too good to be true things. You can't, surely can't have that cake and eat it too at the end of it, and come to the end of 1,000 Ks the following day and actually take that trophy as well.
Yeah, that's right, because hardly anyone had done it like that. It was like the monkey, like you almost didn't want pole at Bathurst because, no one really had been that dominant with quali and then went on to win it. So straight away, we all sort of had a bit of a celebration, and then Rob Crawford grabbed us all and said, listen, you blokes, in his language.
Yeah.
And, the big payday's tomorrow, we need to, and that's where the team was good. No one everyone was already focused on that anyway. And we knew that, that's what we were there. We were there to avenge the prior year, because we had the speed, we should have won that, and we didn't through our mistakes. And then, we all just wanted to make up for that, we knew we could do it. And then for the next day, just to keep ticking the boxes. And even Scafey had a bit of speed at the start. And I was just about, you went through turn one, and I was going to get on the radio and go, oh, I think we'll just let Scafey pass because he's, he wants to press on a bit. And you got on the radio before I could press the button and go, oh, I'm just going to let Scafey pass. I'll just follow him for a while. No driver. Perfect.
I've actually mentioned probably a few times and talking about 03, but and you just said before about revenge on or avenging the 12 months before. Subliminally, how much do you reckon that was actually working in the back of some of our heads around that, and using that as maybe as say just a hidden motivation to do something?
Oh, it was really strong in us all because, we're a well-supported team, came up, but we were still like the second string, if you like, to the red guys. And we knew, like in our hearts, we knew that a championship was always hard for us because, it's a big solid year and we're only a young team, all young guys, guys that had come from non-motorsport backgrounds were working with us, but they're all good guys. And, we almost, we were strong in 2001, and then 2002, we thought, we're in with a chance, we just always focused on the endurance races because we knew we could have strong year, but we really always wanted to kick goals at the endurance races. And then, for that to happen with the fuel issue at Bathurst, it didn't take the wind out of our sails. It just solidified everyone to say, we can do it. It gave us all the confidence that we could do it as a team and be strong there. And then we just knew that we just had to make sure we made no mistakes in 2003, go there well prepared, no mistakes. Level of preparation, as Fred would say. Remember that sign we had? And we used to put it up high in the garage, level of preparation.
Yeah, absolutely. That's right.
Way up at the roof. And that was it, yeah, our level of preparation. And 2002, that was super strong in my mind. Yeah. And not in a bad way. That's just the little things that you use just to keep you on the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I know, I think when did it happen? 2004. I think I wussed out though, but you went ahead and with a hard man and put ink on your leg of the trophies.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I forgot. Well, I shouldn't forget because they're on my leg, but that was part of the thing. Like we all sat down leading up to Bathurst, like Bubsy and a few of us all said, when we win this year, we're going to go and get a tattoo. And we'd already, sort of half worked out what it was going to be. So, the outline of the track, and then each of us did it slightly different after that, a wreath or whatever. But you're right. As soon as we won the race, we all looked at each other and went, right, off to the tattoo parlour.
But you guys did, but I think I don't know, I bailed out of it, which is...
Because I think, we had it done by surfers almost, didn't we? We sat down at surfers maybe and finalised the designs and then got it done, yeah.
I didn't think it was going to happen. And sure enough, I wussed out of it. Maybe you should pull your leg up there, mate, and then put it on the camera just so we can see it to make sure,
It's actually, it's just, I don't know, but it's missing a little bit because I had a bit of something fell on my leg once and took a bit of skin out. So I've got to get it fixed.
Oh, God, didn't it what?
Bit of an industrial place accident. I had to get a skin graft and stuff, but so 03, 04, it's a bit faded, eh? I need to put some cream on it.
You might need to bloody get that redone again, mate.
Yeah, I can now because it's been a few years. So
go through it. Yeah, mate, good times. I mean, it was for me. Obviously, I mean, it seems like, and some days it seems like yesterday, but it was that whole period there, was so significant for all of us, really, in our motorsport, wasn't it? I mean, it was the most successful period of my supercars, tenure, and which is sometimes hard to fathom. But we achieved a lot for a little team, and made some moments that stuck in the halls of history, which is it's humbling stuff, really.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's really nice. You get some young guys that come into the team, and then they suddenly realise association and just that whole golden era. Like people still say that was a bit of a golden era, and times change. Supercars is different now, and so forth. But for me, I was fortunate to end up at TWR as it was at the time, and then get involved, and we sort of built the team up. Like all of us, I remember Creno chatting to us, saying, because you'd finished your contract with Gibson. And then you were looking for something. Creno sort of grabbed us and said, we're thinking of doing something with Murph. What do you think? And I was like, well, it's a given because we knew Pukekohe was coming up in 2001. So, Murph at Pukekohe. And obviously we knew each other from years prior in Formula Holden and stuff. And I was champing at the bit, to get someone like you on board and help grow the team. And that's what happened, like you came along and, up and down times and you wear your heart in your sleeve, but that's why I love you, So, and then, Rob Crawford, all the guys, just some really key guys that are still around in motorsport and respected, that just that thing.
And when you look back, there's a lot of people that spend their entire lives in motorsport and don't have some of the feelings that we had as a group. I mean, it was a special group, but it was also, very productive, and we had so much success and along the way. There were some lows as well, obviously, but but we were all pretty fortunate to have all come together at the right time to actually have those emotions, weren't we?
Yep. And that's why when people talk to me about things, that's what you do. You think about all those times, not the bad, all the good times, or when bad things happen, like you spinning Lounsey, remember at Winton?
Oh yeah, when I did that. Yeah, that's right.
And you didn't even touch. You got on the radio. It didn't touch him, and you hadn't. And then you got the drive-through, and I mean, talking on the radio, I thought I better try and talk to you and calm you down. So I'm blabbing away, and one of the guys taps me on the shoulder and points at the TV. And you'd pulled your radio out. And I go, I don't think it's any point talking to him.
Oh, goodness gracious. There's the total flip side. Yeah. Big time. Yeah.
But we took it in, you can say we take it in our strides. We did, like those, you can either dwell on bad things or you take it and move on, don't you?
I don't know if when I got given the drive-through and I was driving down pit lane as I went past race control and I was doing this along the side. I don't know if that was taking it in my stride point, but needless to say, my relationship with the officials back through that period was colourful, I think.
And that, it was unfortunate because it was wrong, what they did, but anyway. Yeah.
Anyway, we move on.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, been so good to catch up. Just these days, what's EP up to? I mean, obviously, this strange old world that we're in at the moment, probably not doing as much as you should be.
Yeah, so I'm employed by Melbourne Performance Centre. So we're Audi Sport Customer Racing. So it's all GT and a bit of TCR stuff. So I'm more focused on the GT side. So get drafted in sometimes to engineer TCR car, but mainly GT, so I look after all the R8 LMSs, all the parts and engineering. So they're all like gentleman races and so forth. So this year we've got Yasser Shahin and obviously my old mate Garth Tander, driving with us. So, again, relationships that we've had for a long time and built, and that's what makes it strong, So really enjoying it. Like, the supercars at the end was hard. It's a young guy's sport, and it was getting a bit cutthroat in the early. It wasn't friendly. It was just wasn't so political, I guess.
Yeah.
Back then, and it got a bit political and things in the pit lane. So I felt I was getting a bit past it. So I sort of moved out, and then the GT thing popped up straight away. So I got into GT and looking after gentlemen guys. So it's a lot more driver coaching. The cars are that good and they're aero, there's not a lot of tuning like you've driven. Yeah. So the tuning's more in the driver, a couple of little things, and then just coaching the driver, and the races are generally a bit longer. So it's about consistency and sitting down and seeing the gentleman with a smile on their face, just like the smile you've got now. At the end of the day, they're spending money.
I'm a gentleman driver now, you see.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you're free, you need to come over and drive one of our cars, brother.
Well, I wouldn't take much of persuasion to come and do something like that, mate. That's for sure. But
yeah,
it'd be great to spend some more time and work together and do some of that stuff. But it is a strange world at the moment. But it's awesome we haven't done this, have we? We haven't actually done this chat, and so it's neat that it's actually done. And that it will be for other people if they want to have a listen and just get a vibe of that relationship. It'll be that we did have and we still have would be awesome.
No,
good stuff, mate. Great seeing you. And we as soon as we can get that border happening, we'll be catching up.
Bloody oath, yeah. Looking forward to it. That's for sure.
Good on you, brother.
Yeah, love you, mate. See ya.
You too.